All right, folks, good afternoon. Let's go ahead and get airborne. Just literally walked in the door from a great meeting talking about the Fort Lauderdale Air Show that's coming up. So, obviously, the JV team, the Air Force Thunderbirds, is going to be in town, so that's going to be boring. But just had a great meeting and just literally walked in the door from there. We're gonna talk about what's going to be talking about today, which is an interesting topic. It's called losing trades. Yep, Debbie and everybody else, our WYNN Iron Condor just got blown out of the sky. And guess what? That happens. So today we're going to talk about, unlike Ben Bernanke and everybody saying hell doesn't exist and things only go up, we're going to talk about losing trades. We have two losing trades right now. WYNN, well, actually one losing trade on WYNN, right? We have an Iron Condor. So the bull put spread is at max profit, and WYNN is up 6% right now on news that we're going to talk about. So if you recall the lecture, if you remember the lecture on Iron Condors, what do I say? An Iron Condor is great until when? Until it's not. So for the folks that are worried about WYNN right now, we are up. I did the math when I was at lunch. I ignored some of the conversations. We're up $23,000 on since WYNN announced the scandal. And then if this trade, the bear call spread, goes to a max loss of $4,000, can anybody raise your hand if you wouldn't like making 19 grand on WYNN? So losing trades happen, folks, and we're going to talk about that along with JP Morgan. But remember, folks, that this is not without risk. So we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Yeah, the Blues. Yeah, Phil. Obviously, I love the Blue Angels, but this year it's the Thunder, the Thunder Chickens, the JV team. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about some losses and that hell does exist. Isn't this funny? Does anybody remember what I talked about yesterday? Oh my God, Gary Kahn is resigning. Nobody cares. I told you, nobody cares about that dude resigning, and it's not even a story today. But when we did our training the other night, the liberal media and the financial media were going crazy. Oh my God, the market's going to explode. That Gary Kahn was resigning. What did I say Tuesday night, folks? Nobody cares. Exactly, Mark. Nope, that's not it. So here we are a couple days later, and nobody cares about Gary Kahn. I didn't at the time. I told you that that guy shouldn't have been there in the first place. He's a Democrat. He supported Hillary against Obama. He shouldn't have been there anyway. He's a globalist. Trump, if you haven't known, folks, is a nationalist, right? Globalist versus a nationalist. I think the skipper, the president, ultimately wins in what he wants to do. And we're going to talk. We have a lot to do today. What effect do you think that Trump tariff announcement at 3:30 will have? We're going to talk about all this stuff, guys. This is going to be, we have a very big session ahead of us today. And one of the things that I definitely want to talk about is losses, right? Because as I said, we have wins up today, and and Debbie, I get it, man. Debbie, did you not just hear my math? We are up $23,000 in WYNN trades since the scandal broke. If this trade goes to you said $5,000 loss. If it's a $4,000 or $5,000 loss, can you still handle being up 18 grand? So, what did I say with the WYNN trades a couple weeks ago? I would not do these as standalone trades, right? They need to be done in conjunction with an Iron Condor. So everybody, again, calm down. This is another demonstration about why we only take 50, well, not 50 people. It isn't. Debbie, I understand that. Debbie's like, well, I wasn't in every trade. Well, that's part of the problem. You can't cherry pick winners, and you also can't cherry pick losers. All of the open trades on WYNN equal a $23,000 profit. Today, with this thing getting blown out of the water, that adds a or let's just say worst case scenario, a $5,000 loss. That's $18,000 in gains net. So, folks, with an Iron Condor, I think I said it 12 times this week. With an Iron Condor, and this slide's wrong. And real quick, guys, I'm going to talk about slots. I think we have. Before he jumped on the air, I talked to Susie. I think we have 14 or whatever. By now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, if you're free and you don't know if you want to be here, I don't think you want to be here. And in that vein, as a matter of fact, here's what we're going to do for tonight. So let's talk about this. Tonight, I'm not going to. Here's what I'm going to do. I did a member session Tuesday night. So for my last full throttle class that got on board, so we got 50 new members right here in the beginning of January, and we had a blast trading this market. It was a great. Hey, can anybody say hell yeah? The short vol trade, I said we're going to go up to the 50 and we're going to chop around. And then once we imploded, I said what? It's a BTFD and we're going to chop around the 50 again. The market is we're doing pretty damn good. So the other night, I did my last session with the folks, and obviously one of the benefits here at TGO is, I mean, where's Fish, Diane, people that have been here for years get to attend. You're a full throttle member. So every time I do a full throttle training, you get it for free. That's a $495 value. Here's why I'm rambling, because I'm not going to do a session tonight. Actually, I'm going to take a bunch of veterans that I met last night out to dinner. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you all access to what I did the other night. And you're going to like it because I did what did we do? A long call diagonal yesterday on JP Morgan. So you ready? Here we go. I made this public. I'm going to give you this link. Here is an hour and a half presentation we did. And look, what was the topic before I did the training? This was the after hours with Fox News, like, oh my God, Gary Kahn's resigning. The futures are down. Watch this. You have got to watch this replay. If you have any questions about synthetic stock or the JP Morgan trade we did yesterday, I said the market is not going to give a shit. So here you go. I'm going to give you all access. So I'm not doing this session tonight at 8. I already did a session this week at 8 o'clock, and I'm not doing another one. So there you go. Everybody click on that and save that. It's also on the replay page, okay? Let me, where's our replay page? Right here. So watch this session. If you're potentially new or you're wondering what to do, here it is. Exactly. Tim, you want it? You want to like it? You need to like it. Exactly. It's a few good men response. This is old. Hey, folks, when you sign in for a webinar and you don't put your name, it says empty field, empty field. So empty field said this is old, right? If you consider Tuesday night old, it isn't. So we're going to put this training session. No, folks, this is a Raytheon. This is a trade on Raytheon out to January of 2020. This is a great thing to do. Thank you, Arthur. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm taking guys out to dinner tonight. I met last night. So I did a session the other night, and I'm going to give you guys access to it. And it was Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen, when this dude resigned. And so that's a good session. So enough. We got to press forward here because I'm going to focus on losing trades today and maybe a new one. So you bet. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. That's Judy. No, hey, Judy, welcome aboard. I saw you grabbed one of our slots, so welcome aboard. So no, folks, if you are long-term bullish on a defense stock, look at the 2-year chart of Raytheon. Does anybody see a trend in Raytheon? Let me show you the 5-year chart of Raytheon. Does anybody see a trend in Raytheon? So Judy, it's a great question. The answer is today, tomorrow, yesterday, a week from now is a great time to get into Raytheon. Exactly. Look at all my members. Raytheon, fabulous. Where can guys, I just put the link in the, who said that, Tony? Jesus. Folks, Raytheon, again, real quick, and I'm getting way too tactical, but since I'm on the topic, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, what is that, NOG? Northrop Grumman. No. Nope. Raytheon, yes. Why? Why would I prefer Raytheon over all those other stocks? Ladies and gentlemen, Raytheon is in everything. All of those stocks I just listed, Raytheon is in every one of those. So if Northrop Grumman loses a shipping contract, it might suck a little bit, but it's in Boeing. I'm pretty sure that my thyroid, I have Hashimoto's, folks. I'm pretty sure that sitting behind a radar for 15 years, a Raytheon radar emitting more power than I'm legally allowed to describe to you, destroyed my thyroid. So I suffer from Hashimoto's, which sucks. And thanks to the powers that be at the VA, so I have a back problem and a thyroid problem. When you pull 9 Gs and you fly fighters for 15 years, the flight surgeons told us in flight school, you're going to have back problems and hearing problems. I applied for a disability to the VA and they denied it. There's your freaking country at work, folks. We'll give illegal immigrants free shit. We'll give them free college. A guy who served his country for 15 years and buried 11 of his best friends, 0 disability. So now, and fighting the VA, folks, I talked to a VA attorney. It's a full-time frickin' job. So I'm a disabled veteran, and I don't get shit from this country. You can kiss my ass. F you, Jerry Brown in California. Pieces of shit. Anyway, so you have access to this trade brief we did the other night on Raytheon. It's for free. I'm not going to do tonight. That's it. Thank you, Vicky. Guys, it sucks. I didn't mean to vent like that, but when I got that rejection letter, I'm like, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? We give Obama phones away to people. I can't hear shit, and my back's killing me. And every doctor I've been to, you don't tell people this when you're on active duty. You don't go to the flight surgeon and say, Doc, I can't hear, or my back hurts. Because guess what happens? The flight surgeon grounds you, and your career's over with. So you don't tell them about this. And then when you get off active duty and you say, hey, man, I'm suffering, the government tells you to F you. I can't stand this shit. Stupid piece. Whatever. All right, folks. I'm going to give our brief in a second here. If we have a couple slots left, Susie will tell me tonight. If we have some slots left, I'm going to I'll open a couple monthly slots. But there's the link to grab your annual slot, and I think we're almost done. But it is isn't that Craig's saying I have classmates that the same thing with the Agent Orange, Craig. Guys are still fighting to this day from Vietnam to get their disabilities. Let me go take my clonazepam, folks. And not to mention, maybe after 44 combat sorties and burying 11 people, you have a little PTSD, but makes me furious. Anyway, all right, let's get airborne, folks. We're almost done with our slots. We have one more free session tomorrow at 1. And then, like I said, I'm not doing the session tonight. I'm going to go put the ladder down and help out some veterans with a nice dinner tonight. So you have access. Everybody, if you're a free member, you get access to this brief I did the other night. It ain't old, man. Raytheon is a great long call diagonals. And yesterday when I did the JP Morgan trade, I didn't have time to do what? What's the difference between a long call diagonal and synthetic stock? You get this for free tonight. It's an hour and a half. Go watch it. Okay. So I'm the objective here is to go help some veterans out and not, Steve, you should file as a female illegal immigrant lesbian. Well, exactly. It sucks. I can't, you wonder why I get furious at shit. The sacrifice, you sacrifice and then your government comes back and says, no, we're not going to. And you know what's crazy, folks? You can have a 0% disability from the VA. They literally give out like 1%, 0 to 100. They didn't even give me 0. All right, enough. You guys don't want to hear my problems. Let's talk about trading. So where's all my liberals out there who months ago, remember when Donald Trump said, I'm going to rain fire and fury down on North Korea, and liberals were like, holy shit, this guy's going to cause a nuclear war and we're all going to die, that he's a madman. Trump's sanctions and hardline rhetoric brought North Korea to the negotiating table. You know what's funny is this piece of shit lunatic thought that guy is a piece of shit lunatic. And it worked. Where are all the liberals clapping that North Korea has gone from we're going to evaporate Hawaii and the rest of the United States to, wow, that guy's looked, he did pretty good. Thanks, folks. I appreciate that. Schlong, I sent it out via email earlier, but I'll send out that link to the training tonight. Does anybody remember our previous king, Barack Hussein Obama? What did Barack Hussein Obama get within like 6 months of being president? And I'll give you a hint. It's the opposite of war. What did he get from Sweden, Norway, Denmark, one of those countries? What did he get? He got the effing Nobel Peace Prize. Thank you. Look at this, everybody. He got the Nobel Peace Prize for doing nothing. For being the first African-American elected president, he got the Peace Prize. And you know what he did? George Bush, I think the guy's an idiot now, but he left Iraq stable. It wasn't a shit show. It ain't no flourishing democracy. He handed it off to Barack and said, it's fragile, be careful. What did Barack Hussein Obama do in 2011? He pulled all of our troops out, and it created a vacuum. What filled that vacuum? Let's see if people have a brain. What filled the vacuum when U.S. troops left Iraq? I'm amongst friends. He created Barack Hussein Obama, and I think he tried to, but we'll talk about that over. I think he's the Manchurian candidate. He created ISIS. Thank you for this, guys. So I am waiting with bated breath. No, I'm not. If I held my breath, why is Donald Trump not getting? I saw this. Liberals are going ape shit. You got to get on my Twitter account. If you enjoy this, I love drunk tweeting and just causing and poking the hornet's nest. Why aren't we? I've never gone below. Oh, that's awesome. For the months I've been attending, you've never gone below 70% positive training. I think you're great. Begone naysayers. Thank you, my friend. So why is Donald Trump not getting, and please indulge me, because if you're sitting here, why am I talking about Korea, Wiz? Why aren't we talking about WYNN? We're going to talk about WYNN and JP Morgan when we get tactical. But this time last year, the market went like that when Donald Trump said, I'm going to vaporize you. So our intelligence agencies that hate Donald Trump are begrudgingly admitting that, kind of his tweets and him saying, I'm going to vaporize you, the dude's scared. He brought him to, now, Donald Trump, it's funny because did you hear what Dan Coates, former senator, what is he? He's the head of the Director of National Intelligence, the DNI. What did he say yesterday? You got to go good cop, bad cop, folks. And if you don't know the art of the deal, you shouldn't be in this session. The DNI, Dan Coates yesterday said, I believe this dude as much as I can throw him. But the president said what yesterday? He's like, I think he might be sincere. This is liberals play checkers when we're playing chess. Of course, the DNI is going to say we don't believe him. We want to nuke him. And the president has to sit there and say, hey, I think this dude might be sincere. It's funny as shit because liberals, first of all, aren't going to give him credit for this. And then second of all, say, whatever. But so I love this. This is off the back burner or put on the back burner for a little bit. So when you hear this, when they say, hey, man, we might denuclearize if you're not going to kill us, I will. Where's my military? Well, I can't. I'm not going to bring up who the active duty guys and girls are on this thread. If you don't think that in October with we don't put carrier battle groups around the world. Ever since who was it, Truman? Let's see if I have any friends of naval aviation on here. So when there's a crisis in the world and somebody runs in the Oval Office and says, Mr. President, Madam President, hopefully there's something going on in this part of the world. What is the first question that the president asks? Ready? Go. Right. Well, dude, you're not allowed. Schlong's not allowed to answer that. Where are the aircraft carriers? Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everybody. Where are the aircraft carriers? Where is 4 acres of U.S. sovereign territory? So in October, when we had 3 of them off of their coast, we were going to punch the dude in the face and kill him. If you don't think that we had, I'll be very careful here because I have a lot of buddies and I don't want to die. Well, you know what? Screw it. There you go. Sorry, guys. What did we do in Operation Iraqi Freedom? We gave Barack Hussein Obama what? Or I'm sorry, close enough. Saddam Hussein what? A warning. We said, hey, man, you got 48 hours to leave. And then what happened? He didn't. You got 24 hours to leave. And then what did Saddam Hussein do? He jumped into a car and started sleeping. We tried to kill him. So we gave him warning after warning. This guy, I'm telling you right now, behind closed doors, we told him, we're going to kill you. We're not going to kill all your people. We're going to help them. We're going to kill you, and you're going to die. Now, I get this as chicken, folks, because the guy has a dead man switch. If you don't know what a dead man switch is, it is, hey, man, so his orders to his generals were, Hey, man, if I get taken out, launch your missiles. If you do not think that our CIA and other agencies have even though North Korea is a closed cell phone network, if you don't think the folks in Langley have the cell phone number of every North Korean general, and they sent them a text that said, if we kill this dude and you fire the missiles, we're going to kill you and your family. Within 10 minutes of getting this text, you need to respond and say, we're not going to fire. Folks, I could go on forever about this, but just know that this is good news. Now, in a week like we've had with the con and tariffs and shit like this ain't it. Go look at MSNBC. Remember when the president said, I'm going to kill you and North Korea? They went bananas. The guy's mental. He's unstable. He needs to be impeached. Can anybody go watch? I can't. Can anybody go watch CNN, MSNBC, and talk about this? So I'm done ranting about this part of it, but know that the market reacted last year to all of this shit. And today, nobody cares because the liberal media ain't doing shit. One more thing in our strategic brief today. Look at this headline. The head of the Navy Marine Corps said yesterday that China is weaponizing capital. This is a Trojan horse, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to rant about this either, but under Barack Hussein Obama's watch, China picked up dirt from China, sailed into the middle of the Pacific to atolls at low tide, dumped dirt on it, and built a runway and said, this is China. The People's Republic of China has expanded their borders to the middle of the Pacific. Are you guys cool with that? 75% of this globe is water. And Barack Hussein Obama said, I don't care. Now that Trump, we sail our ships through that, and they yell at us and say they're going to fire on us. Here's a great story, guys. Look at this. In Sri Lanka, where the hell I've sailed past Sri Lanka. If you don't know where it is, look at it. Beijing is building a $1.4 trillion port. When we flew by Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen, or cruised on the aircraft carrier, I remember the Intel guys giving us a brief. They said, hey, if you have engine problems, we're not close enough to India for you to land in India. Don't land in Sri Lanka. And we're all like, they're like, eject and try and have a helicopter pick you up. We're like, why can't we land in Sri Lanka? They're like, the closest airport has cannibals at it. So Sri Lanka ain't no Manhattan, but China is building a massive port in Sri Lanka. Do you think it's for I like saying Sri Lanka. Do you think it's for the Sri Lankans? You think China gives a shit about Sri Lanka? Folks, this headline should scare the shit out of you. Now, why am I bringing this up? FXI. Write down this position. Just like this, RSX. So these two symbols I've been bullish on in the past. Hopefully I'm scaring the shit out of you. Literally this time last week, folks, what was going on in the market? Where's my members? What did I brief you last Thursday in this brief? David, it's their Australia, right? It's a great place for China to send their convicts. Last Thursday, literally in this brief, we talked about the three. It was Powell, Putin, and Trump. Ooh, PowerPoint. Remember, that seems like a year ago, right? Does everybody remember last Thursday, Vladimir Putin came on the air and said, hey, we figured out really cool new ways to kill all of you. That was a week ago, folks. So you have to be bullish on who? You have to be bullish on a country, write these symbols down, guys, if you're new. If you're a member, you know this shit. And you know what? I enjoy your camaraderie here, guys. If you're new, this is our squadron. And if this ain't resonating with you, please don't sign up because we'll end up booting you anyway as a member. We don't. So FXI or RSX. I hate it. As a dude in a flight suit who's not disabled, apparently, according to the shitty. So guys die waiting to see a doctor to the VA in Arizona, and John McCain and Obama don't even visit that VA because they lie on their wait time. So I'm applying for disability to a Veterans Administration that is full of shit anyway. But anyway, you have to be bullish on two countries that don't give a shit about us. So we get in trouble for our America first. I'm pretty sure China ain't no globalist. You think they're really reducing carbon emissions? Anybody been to Beijing or Shenzhen? Or you can't breathe. Do you think Vladimir Putin gives a shit about NATO or carbon emissions? So stop, folks. So wearing a flight suit, I'm going to tell you that China and Russia are our enemy, kind of like Mitt Romney told Obama when he said, hey, the 80s called and they want your policy back. So write those positions down. I don't have time to talk about them today, but write that, okay? So thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. That's Elizabeth helping me out with my back and VA problem. So, all right, folks, rant complete. That's way too long. I don't do that, but when you get a rejection letter from your government saying, yeah, we're not gonna hook you up. So U.S. stocks little changed ahead of what? So somebody asked earlier, and again, I'm not ignoring your questions or anything like that. Harry, good rant. A lot of my members, I love getting the testimonials when people say, Wiz, I don't watch the news anymore. I get my news from you. Marsha, I love your rants. Thank you. So U.S. stocks are what? In this headline, what wisdom did I teach you this week? Unched. So stocks are kind of unched in front of Trump rolling out his tariffs today. God bless this guy, man. I don't like the dude. I like the message. Okay. Now, if he were a little bit more diplomatic, he wouldn't be him. He's a New York real estate developer, folks. Do you want him to, Christine? Everywhere else is fake news. Well, folks, you've heard me rip apart Republicans. I'd like to believe I'm kind of independent. I'll rip apart Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan. I think those guys are equally as stupid. But so today, the lady who was at the lunch with the air show is my PR lady, and up until I shit you negative, folks. Up until 4 weeks ago, I was going. You ready for this? You're all going to laugh. I was going to be on the board of this organization. Does anybody know what those letters stand for? Or know where I live in Florida? Does anybody know what that is? I was this close. Thank you, Karen. Well, Karen, you live in Orlando. You know this. Ladies and gentlemen, up until 4 weeks ago, you ready for this? The Broward Sheriff Officer, I was going to be on the board of directors. If you see my Twitter feed, the guy, Tamara, the Broward Special Olympics. I am a libertarian. Folks, I've been blasted. The guy's a coward, and he's a piece of shit. The man is a disgrace to the uniform. But anyway, she was at the lunch today. I'm like, oh, and by the way, unless you couldn't figure it out reading my social media, I don't want to be on the Broward Sheriff's Office. So Trump says adjustment of metal tariffs would be what? I've said this 8 times this week, guys, and I'm going to, until you go show me a copy of your receipt and you reading it, I'm going to say this. If you haven't read The Art of the Deal, so the other day, last Thursday in this brief, Donald Trump blasted a shot across everybody's bow. What did I say last week, folks? I said, everybody chill the F out. This is his opening position. What did he say today? Anybody like that word? It's like when we have a brokerage discussion, well, Wiz, I'm paying this in commissions. And Tamara or whoever does some good research and says, are you smoking crack? I'm paying this in commissions. Whenever you see the word commission, it means negotiable. Whenever you see the word flexible, it means dude or lady, give me a call and let's talk. This is absolutely bullish for our economy, and I'm not going to preach the politics of this again. If you can't see that, it's awesome to see Democratic senators from what states? What states are going to benefit from aluminum and steel? Donald Trump fighting for them. Can anybody tell me what states would benefit from this? Thank you, Dan, Reg. There you go. You guys are nailing it. Where did apparently Russian agents tell Hillary not to campaign? That's a load of shit. Pennsylvania, Ohio. These states, ladies and gentlemen, are going ape shit for Donald Trump right now. These are usually what? Democrat. Their senators, their Democratic senators, are kissing Donald Trump's ass and saying, thank you for fighting for us. And then you got like Dianne Feinstein and all these limousine liberals going, oh my God, this will destroy the tax cut crumbs. Folks, I love this shit, man. It is, we're going to have fun here. All right, now let's get a little tactical. So let me restate my strategic objective right now. Cautiously bullish. What's the cautiously? Jesus Christ, folks. We saw Putin want to kill us. In a week, we've seen North Korea want to negotiate with us. We've seen Jerome Powell say, I want to raise rates. Oh, my God, the market freaked out. Well, no, I could be dovish. We saw Trump lodge a trade war. Who cares? Oh, I'm sorry. Gary Kahn resigned. I don't give a shit. That guy's probably back at his Goldman Sachs office printing money. We are good catch, Tamaris. I'd even cover Iran and Syria and oil. I saw a good $70 oil story today. But anyway, strategic mindset, ladies and gentlemen, remains cautiously bullish. We need to be hedged. And I think I might take up, because we have to talk, today I'm talking about losing trades, because earlier in the week, a couple guys poked me like, losing trades, you don't have any. I'm like, that's a lie. I got kicked in the teeth a couple weeks ago. And then what happened in the past couple days? JP Morgan floated downhill. And then WYNN today is up, with my luck right now, about 7%. So we're going to talk about losing trades, guys. If you think I ain't Nostradamus, man, my call sign's Wiz. And even with those two losers, I didn't update my Excel sheet. Forgive me if I'm wrong. We have to be still in the upper 80s of winning trades. So let's get going. It's up 10 points right now. All right, real quick. Let me put this page up. I have to get tactical. Can anybody tell me why WYNN would be up 10 points right now? All right, let's shift to tactical. I don't want to take all day. And it's going up. Why is it going? Now, why is it not great numbers, not charges drop, not dividend up? 2 members of the company's board of directors stepped down. After what? Hours after the state of Oregon announced it was suing Steve WYNN. Can anybody else tell me why this would be up? Let me look at your answers. New board, potential takeover, the board bailed, macro numbers, pre-announced. Kathy nailed it. Why are they up then? Let's go to WYNN. I love this shit, man. Even when I'm losing, I'm very passionate about what I do, because this is going to be, you ready? This is an Obama teachable moment. Remember when that piece of shit used to use that term? He used to talk to us like a condescending parent. Like when the officer in New England acted stupidly for stopping a guy from breaking into a side window. Oh, well, he was black. The cop's like, I would have done that if he was a white dude. Remember, this is a teachable moment. You ready for this? Piece of shit, LOL, grr. So you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a history of like I said, we're still up 18 grand in positions that I put up. We were up 23 grand since we initiated our WYNN coverage. What the hell is that? A month and a half ago. Now, with this losing trade, we're up about 18. Now, Debbie, I get it, man. I feel your pain, but net, I got to go with the love here. So let's talk about this. Here's the history of WYNN. If you weren't here, this was a Thursday, folks. It was in this brief a month and a half ago. This happened. Breaking news: WYNN is accused of how about Mark Cuban? Mark Cuban, folks, that was the shortest. I'm going to run against Donald Trump because he's an idiot. Everybody see what happened to Mark Cuban yesterday? When's he going to resign from Shark Tank? Brent, I love it too. That guy's a piece of shit. Kathy, Mark Cuban is a dog. What an asshole. The dude, I've seen about 50 pictures on social media today of that guy groping women drunk in a bar. He's a piece of shit, and he's gone. But anyway, breaking news, Steve WYNN is Harvey Weinstein. Bear call spread. Okay, 1, 2, 3 days later, it stabilized. And I said, what? The guy has to resign. He ain't the Broward coward, the coward sheriff's deputy. Bull put spread. We made $1 grand in a day. And then what? We sold a bear call. I said, he ain't going to resign again. So once something's known, it's known. So bear call spread, bull put spread, bear call spread. And then what did we do, folks? When it settled down into a range, what did we do? We did 2 iron condors, right? We did 2 iron condors. So we're looking at, that's around 15 grand-ish at that point. Then what have I said? What have I said? Somebody repeat my words to me so I can not sound like an idiot. I said iron condors are great until when? Somebody help me out. Iron condors are great until they're Harry, Sandra, Jonathan, Rich, Cheaton. Everybody got it. Iron condors are great until they're not. So what have I told you about iron condors? If something's going to stay in a range forever, there's not going to be any premium in them, folks. The options market is not stupid. It's not the Veterans Administration, right? If something's going to be in channel, don't sit here and think like, WYNN's in a channel. I'm the only person in the world that's looking at this, and the options market's going to pay me a shitload of money for this iron. No. Come on, man. This ain't the options market first rodeo. So I've warned you repeatedly that an iron condor is great until something happens to take it out of it. What did I say about WYNN? I said WYNN is either going to do, and again, folks, this ain't rocket surgery. I'm no genius. I'm a political science kid from New Jersey, Irish Catholic, one of 6 kids. I said WYNN's either going to go up or it's going to go down. So I said, you better have cobbled together some nice returns in this area because we're going to get shot down one day. So let me get back to the initial question. Now, let me talk about that. Even though it expires tomorrow, it ain't. Good question, Harry. Let me finish here. So folks, let me get comfortable because this is going to be some good shit. Just ask me. You ready? If Wiz just said something's going to happen to blow this iron condor out, WYNN's either going to implode, the Nevada Gaming Commission revoked WYNN's, or holy shit, everybody resigns, or they're getting bought by China. One of these two things was going to happen, correct? Did I not say this, yes or no? So, what is a tactic? And if you're an options trader, you're going to answer this question. If you're new, I'll answer this when you get into training. What is a tactic? So I did a range-bound trade. Well, no, hold on. Here's when we started doing the range-bound trades. Bear call, bull put, bear call, iron condor, iron condor. So what is the tactic, ladies and gentlemen, that says, you know what, I don't know if it's going to do the up or down whiz. I just know it's going to do one of those. What is that tactic called? Thank you, Gerald. A straddle. So if I just lost you, Wiz, I love the 5-6 trades you did, but what the hell's a straddle? Don't worry about it. A straddle is the opposite of an iron condor. An iron condor says, hey, man, Steve WYNN's fighting this and people are resigning and it's just chopping around. I think it's going to hang out in the range. The opposite of that trade is what? I don't know what's going to happen with WYNN, folks, but it's going to do one of those. And if you're sitting here going, well, Wiz, why didn't you do one of those today? I'll say again my call sign. It's Wiz, it's not Nostradamus. So here's the answer to the question about why WYNN is going up today. Anybody see what MGM's doing? What's MGM doing today? Let me get rid of my drawings. Look at MGM. So our long call diagonal in WYNN is good. All right, I'm getting a lot of hell yes and well, that was an expletive of an F yeah for the MGM trades. Here's why WYNN, when the board members resigned, that's good news. If you don't think WYNN is going to go up, what could you do? You ready for this, guys? If you don't think something's going to go up, I'm talking about a stock. So forget you're in Top Gun options right now. Ditch the options. Let's say you're trading stock. What would you do to win if it's in a range and you don't think it's going to go up? Somebody answer me. Yes, you would short it. Thank you, Steve. Steve's like, dude, if I was trading stock and WYNN was moving sideways and I didn't think it was going to go up, I would short the shit out of it. What happened earlier today? Before I went to lunch, I saw this. I'm like, son of a bitch. There's nothing. Folks, this was a missile. This is me flying over Syria going, son of a bitch. I did not see that missile. That happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, I explained this in one of my sessions this week. When you are short the stock, you go to your broker. This is a longer explanation, but you go to your broker and say, hey, I think this thing's going down. So they go borrow the shares. Your broker goes and borrow the shares, somebody who is what? Long the stock. And you are promising, well, not promising, you're going to replace that stock when? at a lower price. So you are short this stock. You think it's going down. So ladies and gentlemen, when something goes up and you're short, holy shit, man, I thought it was going down. It's going up. What do you have to do to close a short position? Cheatin', Steve, Dan, you have to buy the stock back. Now, isn't this counterintuitive? If you don't know about trading, you're sitting there going, wait a minute. You think the stock's going to go down, but it starts going up, so you have to buy it to close? Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen this, if you're in my membership, you know what this we're going through right now. But if you're not, if this is the first time, you are seeing live first of all, losing trade out of me, which I love saying my losing trades because Fred and some other dude earlier in the week, typical, I get it, along with the people who were like, shut up about your politics, trade, and other people like, you have 0 losing trades. I'm like, we really don't right now. Yesterday and today, WYNN is a losing trade. So this, ladies and gentlemen, I hope, Fred, are you in here? And the other dude, Mr. Never Losing a Trade. I never said that, man. I'm getting my ass kicked in this position. But I know why. Just like if I flew over Syria and I get shot at a missile, I'm going to go, that was on a mobile launcher that pulled out of a garage and, okay, son of a bitch. Now let me deal with it. Does that make sense, folks? So for all of you, because I got like 50 different answers on why WYNN is going up right now. One of them is because the board members resigned, and the other reason was because Oregon announced that stuff. Christine, that's exactly right. When you see a gap move on a stock like this, folks, if you've never shorted a stock before, you have no idea. You probably get the concept, but listen to me. If you say, I'm going to short WYNN at 170, there's no way in God's green earth it's going above 170. There's only bad news ahead for WYNN. And if it goes up to 170 and 1 cent, if you're short that stock, you are getting your ass handed to you. And it starts accelerating. So all the other shorts have to do what? You have to put in like a market order, like, hey, broker, fill me at whatever you can to get out of this WYNN trade. Folks, this is a textbook short squeeze. Okay, this is a absolute short squeeze. Thank you, Chuck. You have to think of it as out of 1,000 trades. If we knock on 100 doors, if we knock on 100 trades and 10% of them don't open the door, man, are you effing shitting me? That we're doing great here, folks. But this is called. Let's look at the daily chart. This is a short squeeze, folks. So in respect to the iron condor, so the max potential loss. So remember this, folks. I showed you, and we'll take a look at an iron condor today. We put on a bull put spread, right? This is an iron condor. You don't think WYNN's going to go outside of this range. That's called a bull put spread. We also put on a bear call spread. I don't think it's going to go above this. Together, folks, these things make up what is called an iron condor. So I call this a football trade, right? Because if you roll your head 90 degrees to the right, this is kind of like football uprights. We want the football, we want WYNN to stay where? Right between these uprights. Now, if it don't, which it ain't right now, guess what? You make a this bull put spread is at max profit, whatever it was, $2,000. But guess what? This bear call spread is at what? A max loss. Max loss. So when I put these trades on, remember, folks, when I legged, this is for my members now, not the free folks. When I legged into this iron condor, a couple of you said, hey, is this a good standalone trade? Meaning, I don't have this bull put spread on, man. I said, no. Do not just put this bear call spread on. Because what did I say, folks? Because I said we could get blown out of the top or the bottom. I said, if you don't have, again, let me clear up my screen here. I love this shit, man. What a great, I don't like losing money, but it's a great Obama teachable moment. I said, do not do the bear call spread if you don't have this puppy on, because it cuts your risk in half. Thank you, Tim. Yep, you said it. Tamara, specifically, we would get our ass kicked. Dan, whoever, and let me, you know what I've been doing? I've been showing people's comments. So let me show Tamara. She listened. So there's Tamara saying, yeah, you specifically said, I use that language, Tamara, thank you. Tamara said, you said we get our ass kicked. Hollis, you said it, risk management. Okay. Glenn, thank you for saying that. My other winners make up for the win-loss. Excellent. So who just said that? Somebody said, so what did I say the other day when Gary Kahn resigned? I said, once something is known, it's known. So ladies and gentlemen, do you think, well, you know what? I just caught myself. I don't, guys, I got to be honest with you. I don't know how many board members there are, but guess what? This could cause, that's weird. This could cause what? An avalanche of people to start resigning. So here's the good thing. Somebody just asked this question. I'm going to answer that one. Short squeezes do what, ladies and gentlemen? Short squeezes do what eventually? Thank you, Tamara. They end. Dan, Debbie, Jim, they end. So what, and I know it's counterintuitive. If you're new to trading, you're like, Jesus Christ, Wiz, you said if something's on a tear, either join it or get out of the way. Yeah, if it's going up for good news. If it's going up because of a short squeeze, so this might be a potential repair trade. I know Debbie's like, well, son of a bitch, Wiz, we became buddies out in Lake Tahoe. I didn't get that one, this one, and I got like a couple of these, so I'm getting my ass kicked. What would Uncle Wiz maybe do today? You got it. Maybe. Thank you, folks. And Tamara, right in there with the double vertical. Maybe Tamara's call sign is going to be DV for double vertical. She's DVQ, double vertical queen. At our next live event, I'm going to designate you with your new call sign. So what could we maybe do, folks? Does somebody give me the bullish case for win? Jesus Christ, Wiz. Well, I guess the bullish case is what? Rats are leaving a sinking ship? That's bullish? Somebody gave me good intel last week that said, hey, Wiz, I'm hearing that their casinos in Massachusetts might have their license pulled. So maybe, thank you, Jack. Somebody said, hey, it might revert to its mean. I will accept your call sign designation with pride. You know what's funny, Tamara? You had to do that in the Navy. Mine was either going to be Tinkle, Joy Boy, Rain Man, or Wiz. And if you sat there and said, oh my God, if you name me Tinkle, I'm going to be miserable the rest of my life, I'd be Tinkle right now. So Tamara, that was the right answer. I accept that call sign with pride. So that's exactly right, Harry, hey man, first of all, WYNN ain't going out of business. I got buddies who are at a conference right now, and they were at XS last night out in the club. WYNN ain't going out of business. They might change the name. Hell, I would. I'd call it, Joe's. This is the problem when you assign, a single person to a brand. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in this WYNN, and we got to talk about JPM too. I'm eating up clock here, but this is good shit. I want to cover a losing trade because Werner, name it Trump, because this happens. Thank you for all my members jumping in there and say, hey, Wiz, you predicted it. We got the bear call spread, the bull put spread, the bear call spread, 2 iron condors. We made a shit pot of money here. But during the life of those 2 iron condors, I said, hey, guys, this is going to be awesome. If it stays awesome, it ain't awesome. The options market there's no risk in here if WYNN stays in a range. Now there's risk in this thing. So the volatility today is going through the roof. So I might actually look for what? A bearish trade on WYNN. Jonathan, the WYNN Hotel is being named the Wiz Hotel. I think in Vegas, naming something the Wiz Hotel might get the wrong type of clientele we can't. No, let's not talk like that. We can't name something in Vegas the Wiz Hotel. All right, we got to, everybody grow up. Scott, very good point. So Scott said, hey, Wiz, right now, the bid-ask spread in WYNN is high. You could drive a truck through it. Why is that? Because you know what? Let's do Harry, you're my official timekeeper. Give me a heads up at a quarter after. If I'm not on JP Morgan, I have to be on it. But why could you drive a truck through JP Morgan right now? The bid ask. Dan, Tim, uncertainty and volatility is up. So right now, some of the market, in addition to being squeezed, is saying, well, shit, now it's going to giddy up and get on the horse. And the other part of the market saying, are you stupid? This ain't necessarily super news, and it's a short squeeze. So yeah, great answers, guys. That's exactly right. So let's take a look, and I did this earlier in the week, man. We have a freaking shitload of fun here. Let's take a look at the next Fridays. And everybody listen to me, man. If you were confused earlier in the week, everybody see where it says March 18 right here? Everybody look at, I can't grab my magic marker. See March 18? That is the regular monthly expiration of options. It's the third Friday of every month. Technically, Saturday they all settle, but the last day for us, superheroes to trade is the third Friday of the month. So look at this. Now follow my mouse. The March 18 options expire when? 1, 2, 3. The third Friday of this month is what? March 16th. So I think I got about 9,000 questions the other day, that confusion about this trade. These options that say March 18 expire on the third Friday, which is the 16th. Now, if that confused you, I'm going to make you do immediate homework. Let's see if learning has occurred. Do we have an Obama teachable moment? I'm not going to pull it up right now. When do the regular April options expire? Ready, go. Type the date in the chat box. When do these options expire? I'm seeing some different dates. Don't make me make you do push-up. Let me pull up April. You ready? 1, 2, 3. If you said April 20th, you get a free shot on me at our next event. I'm just shitting you. I'd buy you a free shot anyway. 1, 2, 3. These options that say April 18 expire on 4. Oh my God. Not that I smoke weed, but does anybody, any Californians in here or Coloradans? It's 420. That's funny as shit. Colorado, Bruce, you get 420, my friend. So ladies and gentlemen, reminder, if you're new to options, these are weekly options. They expire March 23rd, March 19, April 6th. Oh, the third Friday, Wiz, is 420. Again, if hopefully, even if you're new to options, you guys get that right. Obama calendar. Isn't that awesome? Exactly, Dan. That's a great way to say it. Dan's being a good wingman. He said, hey, folks, it's that's the year. This is always the year until we get out there like these 19s. But this is what? That's the third Friday. Okay, so here we go. Why did I get on this sidetrack of teaching? Because I want to take a look at the at-the-money straddle for next Friday on WYNN. What are we trading at? Holy shit, almost 180. Holy short squeeze, Batman. Look at the daily chart. Right here, literally, I was walking across the street to go to lunch for the air show. Board of directors. That right there, folks, is the short squeeze. There is a shitload of people, including me, that thought WYNN would stay in a range until it didn't. You could go to your cocktail party tonight. I'm gonna tell my veteran buddies tonight what a short squeeze is. So let's take a look at what the options market is pricing into next Friday as a move in WYNN. You ready? I'm going to do some mental math, which ain't good. What's that? $4.30. So the 180s. I'm going to look at the stock's almost 180, guys. Can't believe I'm saying that about WYNN. I'd sell the shit out of this right now. The 180 puts are at what? $4 and whatever, 32 cents. These are at about 360, right? 4 and 3, 7, 8, I don't know, $8-ish. So what? Let me bring up the straddle and see what the math is really. You ready? Let me click on this and click straddle. And we're not at the Wiz Hotel. So, oh, look at that shit, man. What did I was closer to the $8 side. What did I say? 8, 7 or 8? Well, that's some hedging, Wiz. That could have been 750. So it's closer to 8. What does that mean? So by next Friday, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you on the risk graph. You ready for this? Tamara, short squeeze for me is about 5 foot 2 foot inches exactly. So let's take a look at this. I love this parlor trick, folks. Whoa, that ain't right. Oops. Yeah, buy Wait, one of these has to be calls, morons. No, let's sell the calls and sell these puts here. There we go. So the straddle, why is that not working? March 18, I'm selling the calls and selling the puts at $8. Oh, there it is. Shit, I didn't go mid-market. Here you go. Everybody listen to me. If you've been clubbing in the Bahamas for 55 minutes, wake the hell up. The options market is pricing that WYNN next week is going to be staying between 172 and what? 187, 188. Everybody stop, put your flash down and look at this. No, Kathy, I'm not going to get into selling or buying a straddle or any of that stuff. Let's stay kind of basic. Wesley, speaking of 420, I get a lot of emails about pot stocks. I might do its own webinar on that, man, but I don't want to go down that road. It's kind of like the beginning of UAVs and shit like that. Or anybody invest in pets.com? Oh my God, I'm going to be a billionaire. It's out of business. Anybody invest in Amazon? You're a billionaire. So we'll talk about pot stocks some other time. But isn't this cool, folks? The options market is saying, hey, Wiz, with a 58% probability, we think it's going to be between 172 and 188. That's 172. And this is not exact, folks. You see the blue line? I'm using the what? The 180 strikes. What's the stock at? 179.30. So this ain't exact. This literally, if we were doing the 180s, would be right there. And this probability would be about 60-some percent. Anybody want 60% options going to Vegas? Or probability? Hell yeah, you do. So why am I ranting about this? Because if I were to initiate this would be a standalone position. I would do a bear call spread on WYNN at about either 185 or 190 strike. So you know what, Harry, keep me on time here, but I got 18 minutes? Why don't we take a look at a standalone bear call spread? Kathy, that I understand. Good, I'm glad. I love that people are learning here, man. This is what we're here for. Phil, the ETF MJ, Mary Jane, is a good basket of pot stocks. So Phil's helping his fellow squadronates. I didn't know that. The ETF called MJ. Okay, so John, great question, John. Right now you have a very low risk of assignment. Why? Somebody tell me why you most likely won't get assigned shares if this thing's kicking your ass right now. Why? And again, if you're new, I'm peppering my members because I teach them this shit and I should be getting answers back. If you're new, don't sit there and go, Christ almighty, I don't know any of this. Good. You're going to be a member and I'll teach you. Why do you run the risk of, first of all, it's a spread, but also Elaine kind of got it, is what? When's it expire, guys? Tomorrow. Why do you also run not run the risk of assignment here? I think I ranted for 16 minutes about why. This, folks, is a short squeeze. Do you think, Uncle Wiz, if I'm on the other side of this bear call spread right now and I'm laughing at you, I'm making money, do you think I'm going to take delivery of these freaking shares when I just told you what? This most likely is, I could be wrong, guys. I reserve the right, but who would take delivery? I know a lot of smart people, and there's nobody on God's green earth in the options world that I know, thank you, Dan, who would take delivery of these shares here. Does that make exactly, Tamara? This thing Monday or tomorrow at the open, hey, WYNN's back down, $4 today. Why would I take delivery? Why would I pull your shares away or assign you shares short and then be losing money tomorrow? What am I, stupid? I ain't stupid. Does everybody, thank you, Marilyn. Marilyn said, hey, watch for it to fill the gap. I think we come back here. I could be wrong. The whole board of directors could resign tomorrow. Steve Wynn's found innocent, blah, blah, blah. I could be wrong and the stock goes to frickin' 200 up here. I just don't, using our thinking brains, I don't think that's going to happen, guys. Right? Exactly, folks. And all my members are throwing in all the good reasons for it. So I think, and if you look at the pricing of your spreads right now, what would you have to do to get out of this thing as opposed to just letting, you know what, let my broker handle this tomorrow at the closing bell? You could let this expire for max loss, and that sucks ass. Wiz don't like these terms. But if we have, let's say today we're at an 89% win rate. Sorry for the 11%, folks. Whatever. So you could do that. But if you try and get out of the spread right now, what might happen? You might actually be paying what? More than the max loss you take on the trade. And this is a whole lecture, guys, in spreads and stuff. I'm not going to drop anchor here. So if you look at getting out of this thing right now, it might be what? The dude on the other side of the trade is saying what? Oh, you want me to get out of this for that price? You can kiss my ass. You have to come up to here. You might be, and again, guys, you should be paper trading. I can't be giving you investment advice. Uncle Wiz is going to let this thing. I'll let the grown-ups take care of this tomorrow. Me, I'm putting on a new position, and I'm going to lick my wounds. Well, actually, 18 grand in open and sent trades on this thing. Well, that's 23. I'm talking net. I'll let the adults handle this tomorrow. Does everybody understand this? Bill, I bailed out early of the day for max profit. Bill, did it hit your SOP? What was your SOP for this? Let me show you what Bill just said. So Bill just said, hey, man, thank God you did that, Bill. Let me know what your SOP, where's Bill? Bailed out early in the day at a profit. Okay. So I like that, man. Nice job. So I would look, and you know what? I do want to, and Harry, I'll take you off your job, man. Good job as our timekeeper. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to wait until 1 p.m. tomorrow in our kind of debrief and weekly options to see if this thing stabilizes. So give me a day, folks. Give me one day. And Harry's like, yeah, I had 11 minutes left. Give me a day, and let's take a look at maybe a win short tomorrow. You ready for this? If you're feeling frosty, I'm your Huckleberry. I love Tombstone. Love that movie. If you're feeling frosty, Wiz, I believe that shit, man. Gap up. There's your gap up on him resigning. There's the gap up on board members resigning. But did you not read what Oregon is doing? This oh man, I forgot this. Can anybody tell me why this wasn't like this short squeeze? Why wasn't that a short squeeze? Yes, tomorrow there's a 1 p.m. It's our final full throttle brief. So we usually don't do any trading on live trade briefs on Friday. I usually maybe do an urgent alert. Why is this? Thanks, Dan. That's the one I'm looking at. The March 29, 190. That's good. No, folks, why? And I'm not going to play stump the chump. Let me just go for the sake of time. Here's why. Holy shit, the scandal broke on a Thursday when we were live trading, and I said, throw on a bear call spread, and it made max profit. You ready, folks? Everybody and their mother, including my mother, since I trade her portfolio, thought that what was going to happen next. This is why it's so stupid when people come in here and say, I don't want to hear your bullshit. Give me trades. Leave. He had to resign. So how many of you think a smart trader? Thank you, members. Half my members are like, duh, Wiz. But why would you short a stock when the skipper is accused of being a pervert? The guy has to resign unless he's the Coward County sheriff. We'll do a shot every time I say that. Of course the guy was going to resign. So if you know anybody that shorted this stock after you resign, they're retarded. And you can tell them I said that. So are we making sense? Arthur, it might do that. It might fill the gap. But this is why. So enough. We're done with WYNN. I think you'd have to pay a lot to get out of it right now. I'd kind of sit on it. Might even. So here's why sometimes on a gap move, even though it expires tomorrow, I am going to hang out. I'm not doing shit. This is me at lunch going, son of a bitch. I don't care. I mean, folks, I do care about a max loss, but net, when you've been printing money into this thing and you heard me say, hey guys, this shit's great until it's not. So let's, you know what? I'm tabling the discussion. We're done with WYNN. We're moving on to tomorrow. I think I've answered everything from existing, club, blah, blah. Are we good? I want to go on to another losing trade right now, which is JP Morgan. Everybody good? Thank you. Okay. Yep. It sucks. Dan, it sucks to be up 18 grand. Karen, I think it'll settle down. Good, good. All right. I'm getting vertical head nods and thumbs up from at least if you're free here, folks, and I'm moving fast. Actually, that was a lot of time on that. We'll good. Awesome. Harry, it's a great way to put it, man. You shouldn't be spending more than you can afford. If the max loss in this bear call spread and bull put spread wasn't in your SOP and you did it, I have zero sympathy for you. That's naval aviation talking. We in Top Gun options, folks, we do respectful truth over artificial harmony. So and I haven't seen my buddy Fred from the other day. You're full of shit. All these winning trades. I'm like, there have been a lot of winning trades, man. I had to reach back for somebody tell me it was an MGM or an Amazon. I got my ass kicked on right around here. There ain't no sunshine and lollipops all the time, folks. But this was pretty damn good for the past couple months. And now today we're talking losses. So let's go over to JP Morgan. I love JP Morgan, guys, but this one sucks. Yep. Let's move over to Tim. Thank you for the mutual support. Let's go over to JP Morgan. Another loser. Oh my God, this guy's trying to get me to be a member. Yeah, man. I told you what did I tell you on Monday night? I said, if you ever go to one of these things, this is why I opened the door for the whole week. I'm not going to sit there for an hour and a half and try to sell you bullshit, folks. I want you to see the warts and the good. I told you Monday night, if you ever come to one of these things and the guy or the gal just talks about all their winning trades, take your money and run. They're lying. So let's talk about another loser right now. We have the 116, 117 bull put spread. Can anybody see what the stock price is right now? Son of a bitch. So we put that on, what was it, right about here. So let's debrief. Hey, I love that term. Oh my God, this is the S&P 500 correction, the short vol trade, we're all going to die. The financials held up great. Our Amazon, we have some good shit on that didn't do anything. Of course, did not do anything. They didn't implode during the pullback. We've had 5 or 6 bull put spreads on JP Morgan. Again, bull put spreads are great, folks, until they kind of come in a little bit. So let's talk about the past month history since the implosion. Implosion, and I'm going to teach you this, guys. You see this? This is called a Keltner channel. JP Morgan pulled back during the massive Fred Sanford, grab your chest, I'm coming, Elizabeth. Lamont, you big dummy. It held right here. And what did it do? And it held right here. Folks, I ain't the only guy sitting on the face of the earth that sees this. This is technically significant. If it breaks this thing, let's pound the shit out of it. And we do that. But even if JP Morgan pounded through that lower, I'd add to my Jan 20. Jamie Dimon is a good dude. Can't stand, what's his name at Goldman Sachs. So anyway, guys, so what happened? Well, Jerome Powell last week did what? He did what? The first day, he sounded hawkish on interest rates. And that was good for JP. Yay! And then he came out the next day and tried to clean up his crap and did what? Well, I don't know if we do that. And he got dovish. So we were looking good. We were looking good until we weren't. Okay, so he did spook the market. That's absolute. Lloyd Blankfein. Thank you, Jonathan. So this is Dan. Wiz never sugarcoats anything, including winning or losing trades. Thank you, Dan. And of course, it's funny and I got to be honest with you. And where's my other Dan? Or Dan sent me. He got a call from Options Animal the other day, really pounding the shit out of me. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not. These accounts right here are for training. If I had a shit pot of money in here, which is not in here, it's somewhere else, it could be construed as investment advice. So those who can't come throw shit at us, folks. You cannot. The reason I've been around for 8 years, folks, there ain't no gray. There's right and there's wrong. So he told me, this guy called me from Options Animal. He sent me screenshots of your disclosures. Yeah. That's why these things go in and out of business. And we've been here for 8 years. Thank you for sending that to my brother. I appreciate that. But for those of you who know me, I have to, if you're a veteran, a first responder, or or active duty, man, even though this thing sucks, you have to be a trade station. 0.0 in commissions. So anyway, we got to get going. So JP Morgan. So right now, when's this trade expire, folks? When does this trade expire? And let's pull up, you know what, the analyze. Where are we? Analyze your trade. Oh shit, man, I didn't talk about this. Thank you. 2 weeks. Martin, let me show the new members. Is anybody freaked out right now? So look at Maryland. Everybody look here. This trade expires when? Look at this shit. So folks, if you're new, this, first of all, the closest alligator to the boat was WYNN. Thank you, Glenn. We have plenty of time. So Uncle Fred the other day, there's no losing trades here. Well, I wish you came Thursday. WYNN sucks. But this one, I think, is fine. This is a hold. Does anybody see it? Let me get rid of my drawings. Oh my God, we're going to die. We're not. Anybody from the low to where we are today oh, that's awful. My daughter Keely could do that. Let me grab a line here. So bam to bam. What does Uncle Wiz call that? This is level. This is what? A good climb schedule. Okay. Tamara, I confused my WYNN with my JP Morgan's. That was me. That's on me. So I didn't say to close the, that's complete. And you know what? Son of a bitch. I never pressed send on the correction trade. That's when I started lunch. So you guys are smart enough to figure out that that's not what Uncle Wiz meant, right? So this thing's got weeks, guys. If you're new, ladies and gentlemen, you bet, Jesse. Yep, Keltner channels. If you're new, I love a bull put spread on JP Morgan right about here. And our expiration is what? The March 29 ones? I'm not the current trade, guys, is a hold. I'm not let's give a little brief history or a little look back. This time, literally last Thursday, in the morning, Vladimir Putin had threatened to kill us all. Jerome Powell had tried to clean up the shit he did last Wednesday, and Donald Trump said we're entering trade wars. That was a week ago, man. Holy crap, that feels like a year ago. March 29 expiration, folks, is a light year in today's market. Does everybody understand that? Jim, good question. I would put it's a lifetime. You're exactly right. I would look at where's the middle of the Keltner channel? 112. You know what? Maybe the 130. Let's get a little frosty. You know what? I was going to do a bear call spread on WYNN. We're going to do that tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Maybe let's at least price out the 113, 112s and see what they're, what do we do? Usually 30 contracts on this. Let's take a look. Nah, 75. I think that was, let me just price this out real quick. I'm not trying to scrape you off. Bam, got it. All right. So Jim, good question. If I weren't in the March 29 that I'd be holding, this would be, Kevin, that's Amazon, Wiz. It's always 30 on Amazon. You're right. So this would be, if I had just dropped from the face of Mars into this full throttle, I like this bull put spread on JP Morgan. If you have your trade plan out, we're ready to go. You ready? Step 1, strategic mindset. What did Wiz say 80 minutes ago? He's cautiously bullish. Step 2, identify the target. The target is JP Morgan. Step 3 is, what are my commit criteria? Why would I be committing capital to this trade? And I think I just gave it to you for the past 3 minutes. I'm going to do it again. JP Morgan is on a very nice climb schedule. When the world was going to end with the short volatility trade, JP Morgan didn't. Actually, the financials were a little bit of a flight to safety. Jerome Powell last week tried to say, you know what, I'm Johnny on the spot. We'll raise interest rates and keep this economy from overheating. Thursday, I didn't mean what I said yesterday, and the financials rallied. I think JP Morgan, I wouldn't iron condor this guy. Well, let me stick with my commit criteria. I think JP Morgan is going to hold the Keltner channels like it did when we all thought we were going to die, and last week when we all thought we were going to die by Putin. So that's my, isn't that awesome, folks? That might have sucked, but listen to me. If you don't have 3 to 5 sentences about why you're committing capital to a trade, why the hell did you get in it? And if at any time during the lifetime of that trade that changes, get out or adjust it. Give me a big good. All right, yes. I know my members know all that, but I'm going to beat this into your head if you're new to this stuff. I'm going to teach you this. You ready? So let's do this. Here's the trade. So now we're in step 4, folks. After commit criteria in step 3, this is the tactic. This is called I'm bullish. Okay, Wiz, I get that. You're bullish on JP Morgan. You're using puts, and it's a spread. Ta-da! Bull put spread. Bull put spread. So here's what I'm going to look at doing. I'm going to sell 75. Why 75? Give me exactly 2 minutes. I'm going to sell 75 of the March 29, 113 puts. That's me saying, hey, Jamie, JP Morgan, come on, guys. I know you're not going to be below 113 by March 29th. Forget about it. Forget about it. Nobody does JP Morgan better than me. Huge above 113. All right, Wiz, you're wrong. Jamie Dimon resigns. The Fed comes out and does some blah, 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 and the thing implodes. It goes through the Keltner channel you're talking about. Well, sucks being wrong, but it's great being in a spread because I'm going to buy 75, the exact same amount, same date, the 112 puts. This means if this thing goes to hell in a handbasket, it'll suck, but our losses are stopped below the 112. This is called a bull put spread. And when I'm in the zone here, guys, with 5,000 people in here, again, I'm not blowing you off. I just want to get this tactic out of the way because we need to get going. So not only, and if you're new to options, you might be a little confused with the whole, okay, Jesus, Wiz, it's a bull put spread? Yeah. Well, I also heard it could be called a vertical spread. Yeah. And it's also called a credit spread. Yeah, I get it. Clear it up right now, man. The naming terminology I use, it's like NATO. We call it a MiG-29 Fulcrum or what. I call it the direction of the damn trade and what I'm using. I'm bullish. I'm using puts. It's a spread. Yeah, it's a vertical spread. Yeah, it's a credit spread. But that's freaking duh, right? Well, it says credit spread here, Wiz, and obviously this is vertical. Duh, so let's stick with bull put spread. Okay? So obviously, like I just said, we're getting paid to do this. We literally are the Fort Lauderdale Ferrari dealer down the street. We are taking in a credit of 30, well, it was 30. Now it's up 2 cents, 70. Now it's up $150 from when I started ranting about it. I hate it. The TGO members get in there and drive the trade higher as I'm trying to point it out. We did that, folks, in a separate topic in FXI. I have the screenshots and I saved that recording, man. We moved, there was like 0 open interest in the strike we were choosing. And by the end of the webinar, we had 2,100 and we had moved the market up and down. Brought a tear to my eye. But anyway, and now it's at 31 cents. So we're getting paid a credit. I'm just going to stick with 33 for now. And I'd only go plus or minus, listen to me, plus or minus about 3 cents. So I'd go down to 30. I'd go down to 30 and I'd go up to maybe 36. If it's north of there, that means JP Morgan is going down. And don't say, hey, Wiz, I can get 40 cents for this. I'm a genius. You're getting 40 cents because the stock's moving down right now. No. Don't just assume because I'm getting a better credit. That's because, genius, you're taking more risk. The thing's moving. Same thing in the other direction. Well, Wiz, I'm getting less of a credit. That sucks. It does because the stock's moving up. So if you're down here at like 29 cents, that means the thing's moving up. Maybe I'd move these strikes up, man. So this is why I give you a range. This is the range I'm hunting in. If it's up here or if it's down here, it's for a reason. And Wiz ain't doing that, and we can ask in the red room. Does everybody understand that? The Wiz Nation, exactly. Okay, so, and now it's down at 30 cents. 3 times 75. So if you got in this trade when I started ranting about it, you're already looking at some nice profit. Son of a bitch. I need to, less talk, more trade. But no, and again, guys, this is funny as shit. And if you don't think I just told you, we moved the market. Let me grab a screenshot. JPM 3.8. And here's what's cool, ladies and gentlemen. What did I do yesterday? I traded at we hopped in our time machine and we went out to Jan 20. So this is, if you were confused earlier in the week when I said I would only trade front month spreads on stuff that I have longs on, like a Jan 19 or a Jan 20. So isn't this cool? So you stay in a couple lanes. I got 15 positions on. You don't know what the hell you're doing. I have a Jan 20 on Wiz, and now I got a March. You got a tight grouping, man. Isn't that cool? So let's resume my talking here. So this is a credit spread. Jonathan, the good news is my long call diagonal is making money. Good. So now, as I've taught all my new members and my veterans know, as soon as I click this button, the only place we look is where? Max potential loss. Holy shit, I put it right in the bullseye. On a $100,000 model portfolio of about 100 grand, Uncle Wiz don't like to risk more than 5% on any one trade. How'd you come up with that? 25 years of doing this. That's me. That's Wiz, the kids, and I don't want to lose more than 5 grand, man. Well, I thought earlier in the week you only said at any time you're only trading about 40 to 60% of that shit. Yeah, man. You got to keep some powder dry. I know of no one who runs hedge funds, manages a shit pot of money who's 100% invested. Nope. You got to keep some of that in a Folgers can out in the yard. So I still base my risk, folks, on the overall value of what I have. So, oh my God, Wiz, you're above it by 25 grand. For Christ's sake. I'm the pilot in command of this portfolio. Sometimes the max risk will be 6, other times it's 4. This is a good rule of thumb. An SOP. You guys got to come up with your own. Greg, that's what makes me crazy. Folks look at the sad face and still make the trade that they can't afford. Let me show you. Greg is a I need to promote him to Top Gun Options junior instructor. Man, let me get rid of this. Can you guys listen to your fellow squadron mate or new members? I mean, folks, if you can't look at this shit, everybody take a second and give Greg a silent golf clap. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Dan. Dan's like, dude, do less contracts. Folks, I can't say that to you. I can't give investment advice. I ain't an options animal breaking the law. I'm doing yo soy whiz and you're eavesdropping on me on the floor of the the SIBO or the CBOT. If you ain't comfortable, folks, I just told you, man. Losing 5 grand on WYNN, which I didn't do because we had a bull put spread on, but just for shits and giggles, folks, who wants to? If I were uber rich, losing 5 grand would still suck. I don't think if I won the Powerball and I had $1 quadrillion, I still wouldn't want to. But if you're not good, when I said 2 minutes, well, it was longer than that. But when I said, why are you doing 75 contracts? That's the risk, folks. Wiz, I don't want to risk more than $2,500. That's between you and your registered investment advisor. Maybe you do 25. I can't tell you. I know there's 2 billionaires here. Of course, they have a lot of people that manage your money. They have a playing account where it ain't 5 grand, folks. So thank you, Greg, Dan, and everybody else for rolling in right there and providing good mutual support for your potential new members. So good. Thanks, guys. There you go. So, all right, here we go. Now, if you sat there and said, well, that would suck, but I get it. The only way you get that max loss is I just spent 30 minutes talking about WYNN. Son of a bitch, short squeeze, missile out of the blue. This, we talk about adjust and eject. Let me get the trade on and we'll talk about adjust, eject and all that stuff. There should be points in the trade. Like today with the WYNN did what? Sideways, sideways, son of a bitch. So it kind of there are times, folks, when it's going to blow through your adjust and your eject level in the blink of an eye. There's times when you're flying over Syria with your oxygen mask hanging off going, what a boring mission. And all of a sudden, within 3 seconds, you're being shot at by a missile. What is it? Hours of boredom punctuated by sheer moments of terror. So here's a perfect example today of WYNN getting kicked in the teeth where it blows through that shit pretty damn quick. That happens, man. And if you can't deal with that stuff, you can't grab some popcorn. All right, 5 grand. Now we can look at Mr. Happy over here and say, all right, Wiz, I got my max risk. It is defined. JP Morgan Jamie Dimon could come out tomorrow and announce that he's the Antichrist and JP Morgan goes to zero. The most you could lose in that if JP Morgan goes to zero tomorrow is that. That's why I say limited risk. So now that we know our risk, hey man, that's pretty damn good. I can make potentially $2,500 in 3 weeks. Yeah, you can. And using the at the money volatility in at JP Morgan options right now, there's what? There's a 62% probability. And look at Mr. What would you call him? Or Mrs. I didn't mean to assume it's gender, right? What is it? Well, Wiz, there's a 64% probability of at least making something. The probability for any profit. This is why you're going to be an options trader. And I know I have a lot of new friends in here. My doc friend, Greg from downstairs. I got a lot of new people in here that I've personally said, enough with your stock bullshit. Come learn. We make money 3 ways in this trade, folks. You ready? We only lose money 1 way. Let's talk about the good. JP Morgan, there's the blue line. That's JP Morgan. JP Morgan goes up. Duh. We want that to happen, Wiz. Okay, good. You got that one. JP Morgan can sit here. It can just hover up 38, down 38, up 10 cents. If it hovers from now until the end of the month, we make a max profit. Ladies and gentlemen, JP Morgan can even go down a little bit as long as it stays above where? The break even. We make money 3 ways in this trade. How do we lose money? Jamie Dimon's the exorcist. Jerome Powell is raising interest rates a quadrillion percent. North Korea just bombed twice. Yeah, you can lose. But I will take the folks. Could you imagine going to Vegas and saying, hey, 3 out of 4 times you make money? Vegas, there wouldn't be any Vegas. The casinos don't look the way they look, folks, because they give away money. Okay, real quick, let me click on Analyze, and let's take a look at our Greeks, man. Here, and this is blown up a little bit. I like this screen a little bit better. JP Morgan goes up. JP Morgan hangs out. JP Morgan goes down. As long as it stays above the break even, guys, we are looking pretty. Everybody understand that, okay? And folks, you will get, we do a whole hour, hour and a half on bull put spreads like this, and we do an hour and a half on bear call spreads. We do an hour and a half on iron condors. Everybody understand that. So let's scroll down and take a look at Mr. Greek, our theta, right? Right there. Oh, wait, I didn't grab a screenshot of this one, did I? I'll put this in my member page. I'll put it with the recording. I'm about to send out a text alert. And I'll correct the JP Morgan son of a bitch stupidness earlier. So JPM, what's today? 3.8 metrics. Okay. Take a look at this, folks. This trade, it's already at my low end. I got to go somewhere else. I got to execute my trades through TradeStation, folks. This trade, what's 75 times 3? 75 times 3 equals. If you put this trade on when I started talking about it, you're up potentially $225. Can I get a hell yeah? Isn't that awesome? So it's already down at my lower end. So let me blast this out to my members, to the folks who aren't here right now or watching me on the replay, because you guys are already potentially doing better than I am. That's actually good, folks, because unlike other places who shall remain nameless, they put the trade on first and then they send it to you. Does anybody know what that's called? Bob, get out of here. Bob, you ready? I'm going to save this one. Look at this. What did Bob it's called front running, folks. Yes, and it's illegal. So again, Dan gave me a heads up. Dan was being a good wingman. He's like, hey, dude, I got a strange call from some folks. If you're getting strange calls from people who are breaking the law, I'll leave it over to you. But look at this. JPM, let me label this. JPM open interest. Bob, the open interest, ladies and gentlemen, did everybody just see JP Morgan go from when I talked about it 15 minutes ago from 33 cents to 30? Bob, being a good wingman, just said what? The open interest has gone from 68 puts to 469. Wayne, first in, first off. Kavan. Yep. Rick, hi, Wizzy. I heard you mention Options Animal. A friend is a member with Options Animal and seems okay, but I like your hands-on info. Talk better. Advise on Options Animal. Rick, I'll leave it at that, man. There's people like us out there. You know what? Oh, wait, let me save that one. Yeah. So, folks, we just potentially moved the market in JP Morgan. Did everybody see that? Options animals stay away, this and that. Also, yeah, I am being watched, folks. It's funny. When people call you up and badmouth other services, um, it, let me ask my current members. I want you guys to respond. Do you guys, well, Tamara, it's funny because there's people out there slandering Top Gun options. Do you guys think that? I don't think I've mentioned a competitor. I don't even think they're a competitor, to be honest with you. I don't. Who have you ever heard me say one cross word about anybody, folks? But when I heard the other night, or when he sent me an email, he's like, "Hey, dude, I got to call." This guy would not let up. He called and called and called and said, "Thank you, Tamara, Greg, John. No, 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 Rob. If they're slamming you, it means you're doing well." All right, I'm not even going to waste any more time talking about those folks, but let's just say there are people out there who are not doing it right, and that folks, we're in the financial industry, man. There's a reason TGO has been around for 8 years, and other people have come and gone. Or guess what? They go out of business one day and they pop up the next day called Options Parrot or whatever. All right, analyze your trade and debrief. New, whoops, like I'm yelling in all caps. Analyze your trade and debrief. New JPM, and we have to talk existing positions, folks. We gotta move, man. I'm gonna have these guys over up on the roof of Icon, man. We're gonna have some beers and talk about. We're gonna talk about the VA and how awesome they are in our country. March 29 expiry. I'm gonna look to sell the 113 puts. I'm gonna look to buy the 112 puts at a 30. And it's also jerks like that Fred dude. Only winning trades. You're a liar. I'm like, I'm not. I'll show you when we start. And we started losing, and the dude's gone. 30 cent. Well, no, I said 33, and then I said plus or minus 3 cents. And I said, well, I didn't say, but I'd look to adjust this trade at about 57 cents if it goes against me, and maybe eject if I wake up and holy shit, I'm on fire, maybe about 66 cents. Holding, and then maybe you'll say correction to earlier trade. Holding 116, 115, right? Which one is that one, guys? Kathy, my son works in the VA hospital in Tampa. They cannot get fired. The 116, 117. Thank you. How many times have I said that here at TGO, folks? What do you have to do in government to get fired? I'm in a county where we have definitely one coward, and then a whole fire team that showed up, and the captain said, "Don't go in there." What the? I posted on the Top Gun Options Facebook page. Anyone ever see that Marine commercial from a couple years ago? What did they ask at the end of that at that Marine commercial? It said, "When gunfire erupts, which direction would you run?" Look at my Facebook page, guys. Well, apparently we know down here in Broward County which way they'd run. And don't give me this bullshit about you don't know how you'd act under fire. If you put a uniform on, you raise your right hand to do something, and you don't, you're a coward. And there's a female police captain down here in, is it Deerfield or Delray? The female police captain said, "Hey, fellow officers, do me a favor. If you don't think you can run in and do this shit, resign now and save us all the embarrassment." Analyze your trade and debrief. New JP Morgan. There you go, bull put spread. So this is for the folks. I do have some people out there, for whatever reason, hey, my telecom company thinks it's a spam number. So there are some folks that have SMS issues. We just throw you on this list, and the email lands within 2 seconds as well. So let me send this. I already got my text alert. There it is right there. Good. Email receipt. Excellent. Joe from Fairfield, Ohio. Welcome aboard, my friend. That's a Full Throttle Max annual. All right. I got to talk about a couple open positions. Got the text. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Let me send it to the free folks. Sorry about that. So this was just to my members. Where's my Full throttle launch registrations. All right, so if you gave me your phone number when you checked in the other day on whatever page that was to sign up, whatever, it's down. We're past sign up. I'm going to send you a text. You're going to get one of these. So this is probably, if you don't sign up, this will be your last one. Arthur, what is the logistical tactic difference if you buy April 1st week expiry instead? Nothing that much significant, Arthur. It's just a little bit further out in time. Remember what I said this time last Thursday, Powell, Putin, Trump. A week in this market is a long time, man. So you have to be just a little bit crazy. Yeah, Nicholas, it is on. I watch Bloomberg. I usually watch Bloomberg in this order. I watch Bloomberg, Fox, Business, and then Comedy Central. I watch Comedy Central during the halftime. That's the only thing that's worth a shit. I know, I know the Nigerians. The halftime thing on CNBC is good. The fluff on the outside is horrid. All right, let's talk about some existing trades. So as you can see, guys, right now I went underneath member content. I'm going to go over to analyze your trade. And when you join, guys, you get the world, man. Oh, you know what I forgot? The ready room, folks. So a ready room of a fighter squadron is where people come in between flights. They hang out. They talk to each other. Look at this. Oh, Kevin, I didn't see you post this. I was at lunch. So Kevin's asked about a data feed. Werner, I answered you earlier. JP Morgan long call diagonal. The bull, blah, 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 blah. So, guys, the ready room is worth its weight in gold. You guys get in here. You talk to each other. Hey, here's my phone number. What do you think of this trade? The ready room, folks, is our interactive forum. I forgot to even brief you on this. So sign up for this shit, man. So JW, if VXX is positive now, would it be good to close before the 3:30 due to Trump? Yeah, man. We got out of that on Monday within 3 hours. I wouldn't have. If you've been holding that through this whole week, man, you deserve a shot because that's been Let's take a look at VX. Wait, man. I was going to talk theta real quick, but my members know this stuff. So theta is time decay. We love this JP Morgan because keep your eyes right there. We get what? We get that Greek. If JP Morgan just hangs around the middle of this Keltner channel, look at that theta go positive. Unched on the day equals time decay. If JP Morgan just sits here, man, between now, this is what's funny with stock traders. I've been in JP Morgan, in March, and it's been sideways, and it sucks. I'm like, it's moved sideways, and I've made a shit pot of money. You're a witch. No, I'm not. I'm an options trader. The thing, if it moves sideways with a bull put spread, I make money. I make money if it goes up, moves sideways, and as long as it stays above this little break even, okay? But look at what happened last week. So new members, current members, you guys can zone out for a little bit or you're cleared off. But I'm going to talk about last Thursday because look at this shit. If you're not a member yet, and my phone just buzzed again, so we got to, I think we're down to about 11, maybe 10. Look at what we did in last Thursday's trade. Everybody see this date, 1 March? That was last Thursday. Everybody see this? 1 March. What did we do? First of all, we closed a nice VXX, another volatility trade, but what did we do? This is when we legged into the WYNN, and we did a day iron condor on Amazon. Yo soy whiz, I did not get filled on this trade, and it sucks. So there's another perfect example. Fred, wherever you went. So last Thursday, when we were in this brief, what happened? Powell, Putin, Trump. And Amazon did what? Where's last Thursday? 3-1. It's over here. But you guys know what happened. So Amazon went below our bull put spread. We had a weekly options trade last week, right? We had a weekly options trade. I'm not talking about this week. We did a one-day trade this week in Amazon that made what? $1,500. I'm talking last Thursday. We're debriefing. That's why this is called Analyze Your Trade and Debrief. I put on a one-day, this time last Thursday, I didn't get filled, like I said. I put on a one-day, I sent a one-day trade out that could have made $2,800 in 1 day. Guess what happened? It made $2,800 in 1 day. So again, I know Debbie's like, well, shit, Wiz, I didn't get all the win trades. I don't get all the winners either, man. And I get some of the losers. Judy, really great trade. Does everybody understand that? Good. Kevin, that was great. That was a good one. So there again, men lie, numbers don't. Here's the actual trade from last week, and then here's the win. So last week we legged into an iron condor and win. So what did I put on last week? I put on the 157.5, 155 bull put spread. Holy shit, Wiz, it's up to 180 today. Yeah. So that's why I'm telling you, you didn't, if you were in the iron condor, you didn't hit the max loss. Let's bring up WYNN again. So last Thursday, over here, we put on the 157, it was down here. We put on a bull put spread down here. Yay. We also had an existing bear call spread. Boo. So the yay part, let's talk about the yay. We put on last Thursday, and the yay, we were risking 6,500 to potentially make a grand. Whoa, 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 holy shit, Wiz. I thought you said to never risk more than 5 grand on a 100 grand model portfolio. I do say that. What have I said 42 minutes ago about WYNN? I said I would not do this as what? A standalone trade. A bunch of people in the chat box, members, were like, hey, Wiz, is this a good standalone trade? The answer was no. The risk to reward sucks. If I don't have about a 1 to 0.25, 1 to 0.25 risk to reward, it ain't, that's bullshit. So I said, don't do this one unless you have the other one on, right? So does that make sense? Again, you can't lose on even Charlie Brown with the football. I called a football trade because I wanted to go between these uprights. Yay, I'm winning on both of them. Boo. That one's at a max profit. This one ain't. The reason I said not to only do one of them was what? Because this was bound to happen, man. And it happened today. And I'm glad it happened today so potential new members can see the way we dogfight this market. John, so I was trading one leg at a time. Okay. As it rolled up, I put on the bear call spread. As it rolled down, I sold the bear call spread. I see not that it was a bad plan. John, I agree. Technically, so mentally, John, what were you doing? Mentally, John, hey, Wiz, I didn't have like an iron condor on at one time. John, you're right. Some of the time we didn't, but you had the mindset of that, right? That it was going to trade in a range. Look at, that's what we did. Bear call spread, bull put spread. He resigned. Bear call spread. I think I'd leg in. Remember when it kind of hung here, I put on a bull put. Hey, a little bit of a rise. I put on the bear call. Then bull put last Thursday, and we had an existing bear call. So, John, I kind of did what I think we not once during this, folks. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we put on no, we didn't. We never put on a 4-legged iron condor. We always were doing what you did, John. So, no, not only wasn't a bad plan, it was brilliant because that's what we did. Make sense? All right, folks, I'm going way long. Let me cover some more existing trades. So this is last Thursday. So good shit. The bad shit was the bear call spread. We talked about the volatility trade. So this stuff's, and look at this, guys. For the past couple weeks, what have you seen? We've been trading the hell out of VXX. Love, love, love trading the volatility, man. And let's go back to this. Weekly options bear call spread, the 45.44 is now at 8 cents. Werner, are you still in that one? Son of a bitch, man. Nice job. So we did 2 one-day trades. Doesn't it seem like Monday and Tuesday was a world ago? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us for your first full throttle session, we put out 2 trades Monday. Monday we closed one for $1,600, and the Amazon bull put spread was up $1,500 in a day. There was $3,100 in essentially 24 hours. That wasn't done behind closed doors. That wasn't, I'm going to call you and molest you and badmouth somebody else's service and talk about bullshit. I did this in front of you. Nothing up my sleeve, man. I can't stand stupid people. Harry, the volume on the 12 puts is the 900. So you're saying Fred would be pissed. David, what's funny is I know, let's just say that random people might come by every once in a while and take some pot shots during my free weeks. And maybe Fred might have been somebody else's name. Look at volatility, folks. You know what? Let me go to the VIX first. You're welcome. Absolutely. People, holy shit, what a great week. Every time I do this, man, my market, we debrief on Friday. I eat my own dog food. They say, Wiz, you gave away too much free shit. Look at volatility. We're all going to die. No, we're not. Maybe we will. No, we're not. Oh my God, Putin, Powell, Trump, we're all going to die. No, we're not. Does anybody see what I predicted? Volatility has got to get back to its resting heart. Right now, all bets are off. North Korea blew up Hawaii, Putin, blah, blah. Tomorrow we could all wake up and the VIX is at 50, like it did here. That ain't going to happen, man. We have traded the shit out of volatility, man. Now let me go to VXX. I haven't done the math on all our volatility trades lately, but I would look at another. So if you're not a member yet, let me tease a little bit. We're going to sell volatility. No, we're going to do WYNN tomorrow, but I was going to put on another a bearish trade on vol. How much we've said this, folks. When you become a member, go watch my old briefs. I said that was going to happen. Everybody cool? Steve, the 43, 40. Oh, you're still in your bearish double vertical. Look at that, man. Awesome. I love it. Good. John, yeah, if there's 8 days left, maybe hold it. Good. All right. A lot of my members are jumping in there saying that the whole volatility thing. So, shit, man. I went an hour and 45. Our analyze your trade and debrief sessions, folks, on Thursdays are about an hour. So I went 45 minutes over that, but it was needed. Does anybody see how I talked? And Fred ain't here, so somebody tracked down Fred. I talked for 45 minutes about my loss. If anybody blows smoke up your ass about Top Gun Options is full of just their winning trades and the guy I talked for 45 minutes today about a losing trade. Why it happened, what we could do to fix it. I don't know what else I could have done. So if Fred, you're in this room and you're now a woman's name, you can kiss my ass. Dan, it seemed like 50 minutes, doesn't it? It blew through. So yeah, whoever just asked that. We do our final session for free, folks, is tomorrow. So usually, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do Friday live trade briefs. Sometimes I do an urgent alert, which is just a video brief. So here we go. Here's the normal flight schedule, folks. You guys, if you're free, you didn't do this on Monday. This was just for my members, man. We did VXX and we did Amazon and we made $3,100 in a day, potentially. So you guys didn't get invited to that. No offense. Hey, man, I already give away too much free shit. So that was Monday. Then we did the PLTB. Then we did AR yesterday. Today is Analyze Your Trade. So sometimes on Thursday, so Friday, only for Full Throttle tomorrow, are we going to do a 1 p.m. weekly options. So for the free my members, you guys can come. Actually, hey, members, plan on coming tomorrow because we're going to talk about WYNN. Even if you can't make it, though, I know we're not used to having Fridays. I'll send out a text alert. So free people, we're going to do weekly options tomorrow for you guys. Okay? And again, now that's a Skype from Sue. Guys, we're down. If we have 9 slots remaining. If we have a handful tomorrow, maybe I'll open up some monthly subscriptions. But at this rate, and like I said, this is the first time in a Full Throttle history I opened them on Tuesday because people snuck in Monday night. I showed you the receipt. So again, other places will lie to you. I showed the receipt of the guy who bought Monday night. Man, that guy gets a gold star. That's awesome as shit. So here's what we're gonna. Good, awesome. Richard, it seems like this session has lasted for days. Well, guess what? I wanted to focus on a losing trade, why it happened, and what we could do to fix it. One of the things we're going to do to fix it is what? Wait a day. And guys, trust me, losing trades suck, man. They're not good, but we learn more from the losing trades than the winning. I mentioned my winning trades in passing this week, and then today I spent a good amount of time focusing on the bad. Okay. And we got a JP Morgan hold, and we got a new trade on. And for the second time, and let me show you my desktop. Where's that trade? It's called FXI something. We moved the Here it is. Look at this. I saved it. Let me move my control panel all the way. So you ready for this, guys? We jumped all over these puts. What was it? A bull put spread, something like that. When we started the webinar, folks, that day there was zero open interest in volume. But I took this screenshot at the end of our webinar. That was an FXI, man. We moved the market. And let me show you the chart of FXI while we did that. All right, let me move this control panel back. You ready? Look at this. Where is it? Right here. This was the daily chart. So when we bought the puts and sold the calls, look at we bought. Yeah, it was a bull put spread, wasn't it? Look at this, folks. The puts and the calls. You see the spike in this? That was us. Loved it. Brought tears to my eyes. That was a first. So today, you guys saw history. Today was the second time in the history of TGO that you guys saw it. I didn't do that. You saw the open interest and the volume go up. So isn't that cool? Brent, this was fun. Awesome, guys. Or wait, who said that? Jack. Good docs always do postmortems. Jack, you had it, man. You got to debrief your loser. So, all right, guys, I went way too long. I'm going to go grab a couple cases of beer. We're going up to the roof tonight. Oh, I did take pictures last night, but there was a professional photographer there. I'll share with you the pictures from the event last night, and maybe we'll take some pictures tonight of the beer on the roof. Great Americans, man. One dude's a Silver Star winner. I'm nothing compared to some of the guys I met last night. I didn't do shit. My 44 combat missions were some of the most boring flying I ever did. So there you go. So there's the building, right? The POW flag, the American flag, and then they have a POW granite for Coasties, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and Air Force. So that was the outside. And then here was the room. I brought everybody a copy of my book. I signed it for them. And what a good event. Next Gen United. So I'll unless we start breaking shit tonight on the roof, I won't take pictures of that. That's between us and us. But I'll share those. But guys, we have one more day left. I can't stress enough that we don't mess around, as evidenced by the 2 people who snuck in Monday. We closed the doors to 50 people in January. Then we go do our business, and then maybe in April, May, June, maybe in May or June, we might do another full throttle. If you do not get your slot now, we button up the jet and we get airborne, man, and we go have a good time. As you can tell, we have a good time here. People are friends. Harry, Tamara, we're going to do a live event. Maybe Fish, I didn't see you in here. Fish, we're probably going to do an event down here in God's waiting room in Fort Lauderdale or Boca Raton here soon, and we'll get to meet everybody and have a good time. So if you're not having fun doing this, folks, you're doing it wrong. If you're squeezing, we call it squeezing the black out of the stick. You know, when you're flying formation, the first time you do it, you literally are like squeezing the throttles and the stick, and we call it squeezing the black out of it. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, man. Whenever I flew with a student, I'm like, dude, wiggle your fingers. You have to relax. You have to know that losing trades happen. But net, I told you Monday night, the average crappy professional trader wants to win 60% of the time. Even with the win getting kicked in the teeth, we're still north 80%, folks. We were 92%. My God, I take 6. No, I wouldn't. I'm a 70% guy. That's my personal mission objective. But hell, man, I still would take 60% a year positive trades in the long run. So, all right, guys, I got to. I need to. Let me see anything else. Yeah, Mark. Sometimes no adjustment is no adjustment until it's expiring. You bet, Mark. Great point. So, all right, folks, I'm going to work on going to get some beer. As I'm gone, I'm going to render the recording here, and I'll get it posted on the page. Listen to me. Please don't email support and all that type of stuff. We're not doing a session tonight. I'm giving the folks access to the session you and our members did the other night. Why? Because it's on Raytheon and it was good shit. And you have to watch because we talked about the futures being down and Gary Cohn resigning. And what did I say? This won't do a thing. This guy should have left a long time ago. The market's going to maybe go a little bit apeshit. I said, what was the acronym I used Tuesday night, folks? My members know this. I said BTFD. So let me give you the link to this recording again, and I'll see many of you tomorrow for our last full throttle session. Even if we fill up the 9 today, guys, I'll still do tomorrow's session. And like I said, if we have a couple slots, I'll open up monthlies, but I'm not going to open up. Not any. I love month-to-month members. Don't get me wrong, but the reason I like the annuals is because it's less. One of the reasons I hated Wall Street, folks, is because when people make it, they pull the ladder up, right? I got mine. You can kiss my ass. One of the reasons I went and did this on my own, I managed a multi-billion-dollar firm, folks. I do this. You put the ladder down. So I'm not the United Way of Whiz. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind making a profit, but I also, You can upgrade if you do a month to month. If I open a couple tomorrow, you can do month to month. Jack, a couple other people from after they've all reached out to me this week and said, "Hey, dude, can we upgrade into annuals now? We're January people." The answer is yeah, you bet. So, anything else? Good, excellent, good. Thanks, David. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I try, man. Shit, we all got our faults, man. But at the end of the day, I want to put my head on the pillow and know if I ain't smiling when I go to bed, I did something wrong. Okay. So, uh, Rick, I took care of you, my friend. So, Rick, I did tell customer support, your name's on the list, man. So not good. Semper Fi, Tim. All right, my brother. Exactly, Werner. JP Morgan ain't a lost trade yet. A day ain't over. A week is a lifetime in this. So, do me a favor, folks. Tonight, watch your free Raytheon long call diagonal brief I gave you access to. And like I said, I'm not going to do tonight. I did another night this week. So we're going to cancel that on the free flight schedule. And like I said, and my PR lady put me in touch with my marketing lady. So, and again, she reminded me today, she's like, the last 3 full throttles, you've given way too much shit away. So I'm going to take the night with pay and hang out with some great Americans. So, all right, folks, let's talk WYNN tomorrow and see what happens overnight. Let's see. Short squeezes run out of energy, man. And then maybe we'll throw in a bear call spread tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Thanks, Harry. God bless. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Grab your annual slot now, folks, because I'm not promising you. Somebody just asked if I can get a monthly. If we have monthly slots, you can get one. At this rate, I don't know if we're going to fill up. I don't know if people were waiting until Thursday to make sure I wasn't a retard, but hopefully today you saw that I'm not. All right, guys, God bless. I'll send you the replay here soon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and fly Navy. We'll see you.